Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Heretical Tavern, the podcast that talks about video games, D&D, and other nerd shit with a variety of content creators. And of course, what would Heretical Tavern be without a drink? I'm currently drinking some coffee mixed with a chocolate moonshine I got a while back. And today I'm here with a buddy of mine named KingOfRebels. And Rebels, what are you drinking here today?
I am currently drinking a Corona Extra, my friend.
Very much in the festivity of things, I understand. Now, Rebels, you and I, my buddy here, we actually met by pure chance, if I remember correctly, as you told me the story, is we had just, I had just gotten into streaming and was doing, I think it was some D&D or whatever, and you saw my title and thought it was pretty, interested and just decided to raid me, right? And it was my reaction that kind of sold it.
I think that, yeah, that sounds accurate to me. I had just wrapped up my own D&D stream for the day. I was a player, and I think you were also a player in your campaign. You were playing with an old group of players that we used to associate with, which I'm sure we'll get to more on that later. Oh man, got a lot to talk about tonight. But yeah, that's kind of how we met, is from that stream. I raided you. And I just kind of hung around, and that's kind of how we became friends. We've been friends for on the upends of 3 years now, I think.
Yeah, I think it has been, because you came in when I was in my junior year. No, actually, you know what? As of this year, I think it's become 4 years now, because you came in during my junior year of college. And
it was that, because my first TwitchCon was with Barnaby's and Dustin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it absolutely it probably is 4 years or 5 years now. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, no, we have been through a lot.
Think about
that nonsense with certain things, D&D, the full Overwatch dark days of which we will never return to.
We will never return to that. Hold on, I'm looking it up right now to get the exact time I followed you. It should say.
Man. Yeah, no, it has been ages. I want to say it was a campaign I was DMing, actually. I think
it might have been.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I remember that. I freaked out because it was like rated me with like 7 or 8 people, and I was just like, oh my god, this is so great.
I know, right?
Yeah, I got a noise complaint the next day afterwards. Fun fact. They complained.
I can't find the follow date, but that's whatever.
Yeah, again, it was my junior year of college, so it's been like
it was a while ago.
Yeah,
4 or 5 years, man. Yeah, it's been a while.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into some of our content that we have today. So with this podcast, it's definitely, my first guest and my first episode that I'm doing, and we're kind of getting a sort of behind the scenes, who's behind the username, and also just kind of coming at it from a more buddy approach instead of like a formal interview. So let's start off with something simple for everybody listening to here today. So tell us about yourself. What is it that you do, Rebels?
Well, I am a content creator. Obviously. I do Twitch streams, YouTube. I also do content for an esports organization. I fly under that banner, and I'm also. If you want me to talk, do you want me to talk about my real job?
Yeah. No, you can do whatever you want. Just tell us about yourself.
Yeah. I also am a freelance filmmaker. I do that for a living. That's actually like my day job. Is I go out and I make movies for a living, and then I come home on my off days and I stream and edit YouTube and all that fun stuff.
Living the dream.
And
anything you want to tell us about the filmmaking business? Not necessarily what you're working on. I know that might be very secret, but
I can't really talk about
work.
Yeah, extremely. I can't really talk about what I'm working on right now. NDAs.
Yeah.
NDAs. But yes, absolutely. I have been working very hard the past couple days. Actually, I'm very tired as we speak. That's why my brain's like shot. But yeah, I work as a grip. A key grip in particular, which for those who are not aware, essentially is in charge of light shaping, shadows, color, diffusion, stuff like that. A lot of manipulation of light and all that stuff, as well as like rigging, a lot of stuff. I do a lot of work.
Understandable.
Typical day is 12-hour day.
Yikes.
It's a long day, but it's fun. It's fun. I love my job. Yeah, that's all I got.
Man, working with lights, here to brighten up our whole day. It fits so perfectly.
I light up your world like nobody else.
I know. All right, so the username. Everybody's username always has a little bit of a story to it, or like a little joke or whatever it is, and you're one of those people that I know of from when I was watching your stream the other day, that you've had not necessarily the same username forever, but you've had it for one of the longer periods of time that I've heard of from a lot of people that I know. So how did you come up with KingOfRebels?
So KingOfRebels came about when I was sleeping one night. I was actually, like, I can remember the exact moment. I had just woken up. I was in high school, freshman year of high school. I was a fucking freshman. And a buddy of mine and me were, like, thinking about, like, you know, doing a YouTube series on Minecraft. Those videos are long gone, by the way. The Minecraft stuff, long gone. And I was just trying to think of a name. And I kind of settled on King of Rebels because, one, I thought it actually sounded pretty catchy. Two, because I mostly just didn't want to do things the same way as everybody else. I wanted to do things my own way. I wanted to be me. I didn't want to have to conform to the norms. Yeah, a lot of that. And that's really how it came to be, and it's just stuck. I've liked the name. It's got a good brand behind it. To this day that I know of, I'm the only content creator with that title. Because I know, like, there's always, like, the numbers and such, but most of the time, like, my name is completely free in, like, any website. It's gonna get taken forever now.
Don't worry, I don't think anybody on my watch list will do it yet.
Fair enough. Yeah, so mostly it was that whole thing of just, like, I liked the name. It stuck with me. It was a lot better than the last one.
Oh god, do you want to say what the last one was?
No, I really don't. But do I have to?
That's fair. No, you don't have to.
Yeah, I'm not going to. It wasn't great. It was cringy. It was middle school. You know, like, I'm such a cool guy, guys.
God, those XX Assassin XX will forever stain our history.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will.
All right, well, so you're a content creator, a streamer, a variety streamer, and getting into YouTube as well. I know we've seen some of the Simp series, and we can talk about the specific Simps in a little while. But how long have you been doing this for? Like, when did you first start?
I mean, when I was a kid, when I was like 10, 11 years old, I made a couple YouTube videos that were horrible. I didn't have a capture card at the time. I didn't know how to record. I didn't know how to do anything. I used a webcam to capture things.
Oh, wow.
It's like camera pointed at screen. That's my capture. It was bad. It was really, really bad.
Real early days, yeah.
Yeah, that was back during when Medal of Honor 2012 was popular, right?
God.
Or 2010.
Yeah,
no, it was 2010. It was
that.
2010. So that was 11 years ago. Technically, I got into it then. But I more got into it after that. Like, more consistently, it's been about 5 years.
Yeah, I get you.
So, long answer.
Started really young with it.
I did. I mean, I had a passion for YouTube early on because I saw it and I wanted to do it.
Respectable. So, in all the years that you've been doing this, you know, the 5 years official that you've been doing it more heavily, and when you first started YouTube, what would you say has been one of your favorite games that, I guess if you could even bring it back onto stream nowadays with all this modern, you know, gaming systems that we have, what would you say is your favorite game you would want to bring back?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Because, like, lately I have been streaming a lot of throwback games. Like, recently I just played Need for Speed Underground 2. If I could bring back a game from its glory days, it would probably be like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1.
Oh, man.
Which, like, the multiplayer was just tons of fun. I had a blast doing that.
Yeah. God, those multiplayer lobbies were a whole different breed, weren't they?
Oh, yeah. Whole different breed. Man, kids today would not survive in those. At all.
Oh, God, tell me about it. I remember one time I was in one of those lobbies, and I usually kept my mic turned off and everything, but after a particular bad match of, like, not for us, but, like, it was real one-sided on our end and everything.
Yep.
There was some dude that was screaming, and I, unfortunately, told him to shut up, and this man followed me on a tangent for the next 3 games. Like, he didn't shut up once for, like, 3 games about why I'm a kid, and if I was his son, you know, it all accumulated to, like, if you were my son, I would never let you play this game, and for some reason, edgy little me is like, if I was your son, I'd kill myself. God damn. God, it was those multiplayer lobbies. They just don't have the same kick today.
Like, I miss the insults against your mother all the time. It was always like your mom jokes. Your mom is this. Your mom is that. I was fucking your mom last night. That's why I'm sucking today. Like, stuff like that.
God. Back when insults were a whole wild west, if you had no idea what was going to get thrown at you.
We're starting to see that a bit more again with the new cross-platform stuff.
A bit more. I like it.
It's not as popular
like
still, but...
Yeah. I feel like shit talking in those games, it's like an art, you know?
Yeah.
Like, everybody does it, even in the heat of the moment. It just happens,
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I've done it. I've gotten heated. I've said shit. You know.
Oh God.
We all have.
Yeah. No. Some of those Modern Warfare lobbies where getting smart with the other team.
The IQ of a coconut. That's one of my favorite quotes from you.
Oh God, is that one of my? I know recently
yeah.
I had that one that Iron what is it? One of our friends Emu keeps repeating Mongoloid, and then I know Iron sometimes occasionally comes back to me is like, what is it that made you say you sound like the type of person to eat cheese by the wheel? And it's still flabbergasted.
That one's that's a moment that is coming up still. That one's that's actually in the next Sim Squad video. That is coming out.
Hooray! Don't forget to check out Sim Squad, everybody. Link in the description below if King of Rebels allows me to see some of our dope ass gaming moments.
I actually need to finish that though. Like low-key, I've been really slacking on editing lately.
Oh yeah, no, you could do it, dude. It was really fun. It was funny. We got to get the squad back on and everything to get more delicious content.
It's been a while.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to it. So, next question, kind of getting into a bit more specific things and everything. So currently, we do appear to be going through a little bit of a gaming quote-unquote drought. You know, we're not getting, or we are getting a steady income of like indie titles that are reaching the Steam store page, like Hellsing, Breath. I believe it's called Breathe Fee or something like that, and a lot of other titles and all that, but there's a noticeable lack of AAA titles popping up. So how are you keeping busy with your content creation? Do you got any fallback titles? Are you trying to get into some of these indie titles, or is there any AAA titles that are coming out that maybe I'm not aware of? Like, how are you keeping busy?
Like I said earlier, I've been going back to the classics, really. Like, I've been going back to my PS2, my PS3, and I've been playing games on there, as well as, like, XCOM is one of those games that just never dies. XCOM 2 will never die. The community is insane around that game. So every once in a while, that's my fallback. I'll go to there if I'm feeling like I really want to play that game. Otherwise, like, I kind of just do what I want. I really don't follow the trends as much. Like, I'd never played Fortnite. I never played Fall Guys. I never did any of that. I try to stay away from trends that much. Well, like, obviously there's some games I play trends because I like them, but that's the reason I'm playing them, is because I enjoy them. I'm playing games I enjoy because I found that, like, if I'm not enjoying a game, the stream is garbage, the video is garbage, there's just no fun or content that's great to create. So when I'm doing something that I don't enjoy and forcing myself to, and forcing, like, the laughs and such, it's not as enjoyable, and it's very noticeable. So whenever I am playing something, I'm doing what I can to enjoy myself, and I have been enjoying myself lately, like, in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, I understand. The other day, I was checking out your stream with Need for Speed. I want to say it was Underground
2,
right?
Underground 2, yeah.
Underground 2, that was it. Yeah, and I used to play that one a little bit whenever I went to not Navi's house, not the guy you know, my cousin, but another cousin of mine who had all the Need for Speed games, and there was just something about it, you know. It was very relaxed. It was very entertaining. It was an old game, but there was energy to it.
Can't beat the classics. Can't beat the classics.
Cannot beat the classics. Yeah, I'm still on you about that KOTOR comment, but that's for another day. Yeah, no, I get you. It's fine. It's not for everybody. Anyway.
I'm gonna get fucking lynch mobbed.
God, don't worry. Nobody knows what the comment was, and they won't know anytime soon. All right, so here's a bit one that I know we mentioned a couple minutes ago and everything, and, you know, definitely like to get everybody's thoughts on it in the future, but what are your thoughts on competitive gaming? Do you think you're ever going to try something like that again? Because I know you and I and a couple others, we tried that back in the old days of, like, Overwatch and shit. But not necessarily that one. Hey, we had a title and everything.
It was bad. It was cringe.
It was cringy as hell. But with all the new titles out there, you know, you've got like Valorant and some other stuff coming out and all that. Are you ever going to dip your feet into that cesspool again, or are you going to try to avoid
I've thought about it. I always have thought about it, but the problem with me in competitive gaming is, like, when I play a competitive game, that game becomes my entire focus, and, like, I become very serious about that game. And this is nothing against any of my friends, anything like that, but I become, like, so serious about a game that I end up typically getting toxic and bad, so I've really put that competitive side away from me. I try to stay away from the competitive games. I completely uninstalled Overwatch. I'm never playing it again. It was bad. Last time I played it, I nearly lost a couple friends. Yeah, it brings out a bad side of me. But, like, when I'm playing Valorant or I'm playing Rainbow Six, I'm having fun. and not just grinding through the ranks, because that's what it was doing when I played Overwatch. Towards the end of the life cycle, I was just grinding through the ranks. I didn't care about the game anymore. I didn't find it that enjoyable. Excuse me. But like with Valorant's fresh to me. I never played Counter-Strike, and that's why I love Valorant. Valorant's a ton of fun. That's like...
Do you have to... Is Valorant a free game? Kind of like the... Because I know it's by right. It is free.
It's a free like CSGO clone. And it is a lot of fun.
Oh, shit.
I know it's typically seen as like a knockoff and easier, and that's totally understandable. If you think that, that's totally a valid opinion. Like, I know some people don't like the game, and it's not for everyone, and that's okay. It's not like the end-all, be-all games. So like, yeah, I enjoy Valorant. I do enjoy Valorant. I've been having a ton of fun with it recently. I've thought about like trying to get a team together, but I know that if I do, it's gonna go south. So that's why I'm like been half-heartedly doing it. Same thing with Siege. Like Siege, I used to be decent at. I was like Plat 1, which isn't.
God, I remember Siege.
I actually went back to Siege last night. I played a couple games of Siege last night and I had a lot of fun. And with some of the new changes coming out, I might be picking it up more often.
I actually recently got like a storage device, so I've been trying to download all the games that I used to have that were like really fat and everything, like Siege and all that. But I need to get into Valorant now. You got to drag my ass with you.
It's tough, but like we'll get you there.
It'll be a Siege situation again, where I just kind of remain the comedic relief, and y'all carry my ass.
Yeah,
upwards.
We'll try.
All right. So I did notice on your streams, you know, there's always a lot of titles and a lot of variety in there. You know, back with the Horizon Zero Dawn, Need for Speed Underground 2, Valorant, as you said before. But it's safe to say, you know, you touch on a lot of stuff. But is there anything that you won't touch, like certain games or even
fighting
genres?
Games.
Like, what about horror?
Fighting games. I will never touch a fighting game. I'm horrible at fighting games.
What is it about the fighting games? Is it just the button mashing or what?
I do not understand the combos. I'm a monkey when it comes to these games. I'm just dumb. I just don't understand them. Like I've tried. I'm terrible at Smash Brothers. I'm terrible at Mortal Kombat. I'm terrible at all those games. I will never touch any of those games just because I'm so bad at them. And even to this day, like my girlfriend Samantha, she loves Mortal Kombat and I hate it and I refuse to play it with her. Like it's that bad. And I'll play like pretty much anything with her just to have her so she's having a good time and I'm having a good time. But not Mortal Kombat. It's one of those games I just cannot enjoy. Because I will just button mash all day!
God, you know, same. I touched the, what is it, like Mortal Kombat. It was one of the newer ones, like 3 years ago or something, when they brought it to a college common room and we just played it for a while. And normally I hated them because I played like one of the old ones, like back in high school, where a friend of mine wanted to introduce us to it, and so we were playing and having a good time, and I figured out that button mashing was something you don't do. So of course I tried to learn the combos, because this man who brought the game was like, yeah, learn the combos, and then as I was learning the combos and kicking his fucking ass, man crouches in a corner and just waits to like little punch me every time I get close, and I'm like, you know what, this is the kind of game where if the guy starts to lose and do something like this, he's going to pull shit like this and then walk away like a pigeon proud of itself for shitting on a car.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly what I mean.
Like, it's just something about the combos.
It's just I was never able to get the inputs together. Maybe it's because my hands are dumb. I don't know, man. My hands aren't programmed for that anymore. I used to be okay on a controller. Like, you know, I grew up on a controller. Yeah. But now, like, my hands are so used to keyboard and mouse. Like, picking up a controller feels weird again to me.
God, same. I went home not too long ago, and my brother had an Xbox One, and he wanted me to try Destiny 2 on his Xbox, and I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. And it's just so weird holding a controller now. Like, the muscle memory is just gone.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. All right, so next one that we got. So personality. I told the audience earlier in our introduction to you here that you and I met because you rated my stream, and you kind of like, you stayed around because you enjoyed the reaction I gave, which was basically, you know, I was a giddy mess. I was freaking out like crazy. So how important is personality to do what you do as a streamer? I mean, like when I watch your streams, I lurk sadly because, you know, you're usually live when I go to work and everything, but thankfully work from home. Oh, I hit my thing here. But when I or when I am able to watch like fully and everything, I always see so much energy and volume. And, you know, it's like you're a walking tank of nitro, you know? So for people just starting out, you know, is something like that important, personality and all that, or is it just like branding? Like how important would you say personality is?
Okay, so like I was saying, when you start out streaming, there are two types of streamers. There is the people that are like Shroud, who are all skill. Like, they have some personality, but their personality isn't the main thing people go to watch. They go to watch Shroud for his insane shots, his insane everything. Then there's people like Tim the Tatman, who are 100% personality. Not necessarily, they have some skill, but they're not like top tier level. So it really depends on the type of person you are. Like, if you are one of those top tier players, you'll probably be fine, just like being quiet and doing your thing. But if you're like me, I'm a very energetic person. I'm not amazing at video games, but my personality is what I use in a content creation to get my content across. It's because I want to help.
Help?
It's because I want people to know who I am, and I want people to enjoy the entertainment that I can bring to them with video games and my personality, you know? When someone enters my stream, my first thing I try to do is I make them feel like they are at home. You know, I say, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you before, and if you have, I'm sorry I don't remember you. Stuff like that. And that's like the whole point of my streams is like, it's my personality you're here to see. You're not necessarily here to see me be a god at video games. I have my moments. I do have my moments where I'm okay at a game, like I'll get an ace or something like that. But I'm by no means, like, good, per se, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that's like I said, 90% of it is personality or skill, depending on which kind of streamer you are. 5%, actually, I wouldn't say 90%, I'd say 75%. 20% of that is absolutely networking and getting found. Can't do this alone. Sorry. There's no way you're getting known unless you tell people you're around. In this current day market, though, it's so hard to grow on one platform alone. You have to grow on every platform you can. And that's part of the reason my stream is so small, is I have not caught up with that. I have not made a TikTok yet. I have not done any of that. But post TikToks, post on Reddit, do all that shit. That'll help your channel grow. It'll help it get spotted. All that stuff.
God, I really noticed. Yeah, that's got a lot of truth to it. Yeah.
Yeah. And the last 5% is just consistency. You got to make sure you keep up. Keep the streams regular, keep going, keep pushing, keep grinding. There's going to be days where it's going to be hard. Trust me. I know. I'm a depressed motherfucker. All the time.
God, the sadness is real.
All the time.
The sadness is real.
Yeah. I am a depressed motherfucker. But that's okay.
It's just the consistency of it. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be days where you don't want to start the stream, and I get that. I've been there. Like, you know, you don't want to start the stream. But when you start it up, sometimes it feels good. Sometimes you're just not feeling it that day. It's okay to call things early. It's okay to cancel. Try to keep consistent. Don't be sporadic. That's the best thing I can do. Make a schedule for yourself. Try it. You never know. And if you're also, like, looking into streaming and are like, I don't know if I want to do it, or, like, I don't know if I'm going to like it, try it. Just fucking try it. You will enjoy yourself. Or you might not, but you won't know till you try. That's how I got into it.
Yeah, kind of the same thing there. I know once we start getting like regular movement on like some of those games that we've been doing and everything, I want to go back into streaming because it was fun. It was just like, yeah, there were a lot of days with my weird schedule, just nobody was online, and I was like, I can't do it by myself. You know, I'm a social butterfly online. But yeah, I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
That is actually a good way to segue into one of our last like serious questions and everything. So like, in all these years of streaming, you know, what do you do to keep yourself motivated? Because I know a lot of people start, and some of them are pretty promising, but they do tend to burn out. Like I said a minute ago, I know I myself am trying to make a comeback, but it's been a bit of a struggle. So what would you say to me, to the audience, to everybody else that might see this video that are either new or wanting to get back in it? How would you recommend staying motivated in like a more technical sense?
That's a tough one, actually. In a technical sense, the best thing you can do is try changing something. If you feel like things aren't working, that you're in a slump, and that you don't like where you're at, change it up. Like, don't burn yourself. You don't have to play one game every day for the rest of your life. I personally am a variety caster, but as of late have been sticking more consistently to a single game, like for a month or two at a time. And like, if I get bored of that game, I'll switch off of it. I'll change to something else, and maybe I'll revisit it later. But for now, I want to try something out. Take a new avenue. And the biggest thing you gotta remember when streaming is it's not about the views, it's not about the money, it's a hobby. It's meant to be fun, it's supposed to be enjoyable. it might turn into a career someday, but that should never be the goal from the start. The goal from the start should be to grow a community that you are proud of, and that you are having fun. And if you're not having fun anymore, make it so you're having fun. Do something that makes you have fun. If your viewers don't like it, that's their fucking problem. You are who you are. You do not have to adhere to the status quo. You don't have to do it this fucking way. Do it the way you want to do. Make a personality for yourself. Make a channel for yourself. Stand out from the rest. That's how you're going to keep yourself motivated, is by just being you. And like not letting peer pressure and all that shit change what your workflow is. That's my best advice. Is just change it up. Do what you want to do. You know, don't just sit there in a slump, depressed, starting stream, just going, all day. You don't, no one wants to watch that.
Yeah.
I sure as hell don't.
Yeah, no, the consistent energy is important, yeah. God.
I got heated there for a sec, jeez.
Yeah, no, I could, no, you're fine. The energy and the passion is there, you know, and it's very wise words, too, you know, a lot of what you said, understandable, very understandable, you know, you can't go into it wanting to be famous because you'll burn yourself out. You got to go into it wanting to have fun, you know, and I feel like that's what a lot of people do. Or at
it's
least,
a common mistake.
Yeah, a lot of common mistakes in that one, but like a lot of the people, too, that get, you know, where they need. I mean, I know, like, we got that one buddy of ours, Skoy Skull, and he's just a genuinely happy being, like a very...
Oh, I love Phil.
He's such a nice person, dude.
Phil's
like,
such a nice guy. I love Phil.
And he's grown so much from it because he's just got such a wonderfully friendly personality and shit. Just, my God.
Yeah, Phil is an amazing friend of mine. I love that guy to death, man. He was like us at one point, you know, he was undermotivated, not knowing what to do. And then he actually met us.
Yeah.
When he met us, like, his motivation re-sparked because he found he found a person that was passionate about it, and he wanted to be passionate because of it. That also could be the key to it.
Yeah, just finding the right group.
Finding the right group of people. Finding someone that encourages you to keep going. Don't be with friends that are like, ew, your streams are stupid, stop doing it. Don't fucking, no. Bad.
No, bad.
Bad. Ow, that hurt my hand.
What the fuck did you hit?
I hit my hand. Don't do that. Like, be around people who want to be around you. Find fellow streamers. Don't be afraid to host another low viewer. That might make their entire day. You can make a brand new friendship by just hosting someone and hanging out for an hour or two. Not even kidding.
God, that's
right.
That's us right
That's
now.
how it works. That's how it works.
God, look at that. 5 years later, and you still can't get rid of me. Now I'm drilling into your
Go away.
Valorant.
I don't like you anymore.
Never. I'm on you like fungus, my boy. All right. So, I guess we actually have one more technical question that we can kind of go over, because I know we've been itching to touch on this one for a while. I'm kind of saving it for that juicy little end bit of drama, and then we'll end with something a little bit more funny to kind of give a nice little lightheartedness afterwards. Yeah. So, sponsors. When it comes to streaming, a lot of people, and, you know, not just on streaming, but when it comes to streaming, YouTube, you know, posting to, like, the daily whatever bullshit website that is, there's always the possibility of picking up a sponsor. Now, I know you've got one, if you want to say who they are right now, and then we can kind of go into how to look for red flags, because I know the one you have right now, you've talked really good about them. They're great people. Do you want to tell us real quick their name and what they do?
Yeah. So currently I am sponsored by a company called Kinesis Gaming. Some of you, if you watch Overwatch League, this name might sound familiar. That's just because they actually just recently partnered with the San Francisco Shock, which is some pretty fucking huge news. But mostly their specialties are keyboards, and they have particularly this one keyboard that is literally split down the middle. I love my keyboard. It took some getting used to, but it's great. Great company. They've been very good to me. They've given me a lot of motivation as well. Like, you know, they constantly are retweeting my stuff when I'm saying I'm going live. They're constantly giving me stuff to give away to my fans. They've just been very good to me overall. Unlike another sponsor, who we shall not be naming, but we'll refer to them as Company X.
Yeah, Company X, yeah.
Company X.
Oh,
God. So when I first met Nordic, he was part of Company X. They were mostly a group at this time. But when I joined them, I was the biggest content creator in there, which is not that much. I only had around 400 followers at the time. To put that in retrospect, I'm still only at like 700. I'm not that big yet, but like this was a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while.
No, it was like 4 years ago now. Shit. I was a freshman in college with these guys. Yeah. And now, this company, the biggest red flag for me was like, they said they wanted to promote me to have me be a part of their team, but literally did nothing to help me at all. Like, they promised retweets, they promised promotional material, they promised a lot. There's only one promise they followed through on, and that was sending me to TwitchCon my first year, which, like, that was great. Don't get me wrong, but that was not enough for me to stay on with them as a company. They were not a great company. Oh
yeah.
There was a lot of broken promises in that company, and there's a reason that we left that company entirely. We made a couple of good friends out of there, but like for the most part, I haven't talked to any of them since. It was a whole shit show, man. Like, they would ask you to do a bunch of stuff. I can also talk about another esports org that I was a part of, and we're gonna call them Company Y. This esports org was like, they did nothing for you, but you had to do everything for them. Very small esports team. It was a Call of Duty team. And the biggest red flag was like, we want you to stream on our community channel once a week. Which, normally, you just don't want to do that. You want to dedicate a lot of your time to your own channel and commitment. And yes, there are other avenues to like grow your channel. But when you're streaming on someone else's channel, it's not for your growth, it's for their growth. It's never for your growth. So like, try to avoid that. Obviously, like, there's certain, like, if you're doing it like every couple months or like every twice a year, that's fine. I've done a couple of like promotional gags with a couple friends of mine where we swap channels for a day, stuff like that. That's totally fine. But if you're being forced to stream for a company once a week, and it's like they're doing, again, very little for you personally, no promotional, it's such a red flag. You just got to get out of there. So like, you know, man, just be careful with who you talk to, who you trust. Don't put all your eggs in one place. Is that the saying?
Yeah, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
That's the one. Yeah, just don't bank on one company, and don't be afraid to turn down a company. Like, you might think it's a great opportunity at first, and like it might seem like it, you know, you're with a company, but don't be afraid to back out of it. You know, as long as you're not under contract for like a required amount of time. Like, if you're under a contract that says you have to be with them for 6 months, and then you're free to do whatever you want, fine. You have to stick with them for 6 months. That's just part of the agreement. Unless they do some other stuff. That's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Termination clauses, all that stuff. Yeah, contracts
read those.
Yeah, read your contracts. Always read your contracts.
Read them.
Like, actually read them. Make sure you sit down and know exactly what they are going to do for you and what you have to do for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always had, especially with like when I do like voice acting and shit, sometimes I'll get a contract and I have a tendency to read every single bit, and I have
it annoys the companies.
They're so upset. I had to turn down like a few jobs because at one point I was doing this one for voice acting for like this one game that I still can't talk about too much because they're still in production, but I was doing work for them at one point and they gave me a contract, and at first it was just like, yeah, this is just so blah blah blah, you're not going to say anything, and also it's so that way you know, it's guaranteed that we pay you and everything. I'm like, oh cool, I'm gonna read it. And the guy got really confused because he's like, what do you mean you're gonna read it? I'm like, I'm gonna read it. I read everything that comes to us. And it turns out that it was me signing, it was an NDA, it was a promise of payment, but it was a promise that they would only pay me as much as was available to fit the original discussed price.
You should
and
so I looked at
this and I'm
that.
like, yeah, I looked at this and I'm like, no, because this essentially means you could tell me, yeah, we don't have any money, so we can't pay you, and that's how much we are able to. And I was like, no thanks. Ended up getting paid for my work because I did some other freelance work for them before this big step they wanted to take. But yeah, no, as soon as I read that, I had to tell a few other people, and they quickly backed out of them. But yeah, no, read your contracts.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, those are important.
Yes, they're extremely important.
But, all right, so let's go ahead and move on to the last question that I have. Among all the funny ones, I'm going to basically pick one randomly, and that's how we're going to end the channel. Or not the channel. Not the channel. Fuck. End the video.
This channel is over! Victory!
I'm hitting the delete button now.
I can leave!
All right, so picking from the random list here, All right, I got one here for you. So whether it be on stream or on video or maybe even something you have planned in the future or whatever, have you ever tried to beat a game while just absolutely sloshed off your rocker before? I mean, like, just drunk out of your mind. And if so, how did it go? And if you haven't done it yet, how do you plan that it might go?
I have done this, I think, kind of.
Oh, you gotta tell us.
On my 21st birthday, I was playing Apex Legends with Boogie and a few other friends of mine from Strive. And I got fucking wasted. Like, it was bad, man. We won a couple games, but we were playing a drinking game where, like, you were designed to get absolutely hammered. And I was basically blackout piss drunk. It was to the point where I got raided by a buddy, and I didn't realize that it was a 100+ raid until after I ended the stream 10 minutes later. So I just threw away 100 viewers, and I didn't even realize it. And I was very upset at myself the next day.
Oh my god, you fool.
Yeah, but I was hammered, and somehow we still won some games. I think I got carried. I don't remember that day very well. I was very
you were
drunk
the star of the show. Star of the show.
A lot of whiskey that day, yeah. But yeah, man, I don't think I'm gonna do that again. I haven't been a heavy drinker in a long time because of, like, a lot of incidents like that where I've just gotten so fucking shit-faced. I don't have a desire to drink that much anymore. Like, I'll drink a beer to relax, but I will never, like, get shit-faced drunk often anymore. It's very rare I get drunk that drunk anymore. I get drunk on occasion, but not shit-faced.
No, I understand. Yeah, a beer every once in a while is a very nice way to relax and all that.
Yeah, it's a super nice way to relax. I enjoyed just kicking back with a beer after a long day at work, man. Like, climbing up and down ladders and just...
the bread soda. Please give it to me. All right.
Oh, man. At least it's not LaCroix. Fuck LaCroix.
Oh, God, LaCroix. You know, before we end this...
Worst drink ever!
I got a quick thing to say on that real quick, just before we end this here in a second. The last company I worked for, with, like, my regular 9 to 5 and everything, when I worked in game development and everything, and not saying their names, of course, but they had a fridge, and I didn't see what was in it at first, and they were just like, yeah, you can get soda, tea, water, whatever you want, whatever's in there, you can have it. And I'm like, oh, that's great, like, as much as I want. And they're like, yeah, just like grab a drink whenever. My first day on the job, I was like, you know what? I'm a little thirsty. I'm going to get myself some tea or maybe a Dr. Pepper. You know, I'm going to see what they got. I go in there. No, their soda is all LaCroix. The water is all like this really weird, like I think it was like Ozark or whatever. And the tea is not even actual tea. It's just more fucking LaCroix. And I saw everyone there drinking LaCroix. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to see what LaCroix's all about. So I pop one open. And I have never gone back because I like flavor in, you know, everything. So it's just, I don't understand it. I don't understand what's wrong with LaCroix.
You don't like to you don't like to taste what the TV tastes like. I don't understand the appeal, man. It's all over the film industry. Everyone drinks LaCroix. I hate LaCroix. It's disgusting. Oh my god.
Never went back to it. It was awful. Just ugh. All right. Well, this has been the first episode of Heretical Tavern. Once again, I have just finished my coffee moonshine here. Troy, how you looking on that beer?
Oh, it's long gone. I finished it like 20 minutes ago, bro.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, KingOfRebels. Wait, I accidentally said your real name a minute ago. Do you
I don't mind. I don't mind. People know me by my real name all the time.
Okay, fair enough. So anyways, this has been my buddy Troy, aka King of Rebels. If you are interested in a very chill, very caring community that, you know, they definitely have their feet in a couple puddles of competitive gaming and everything. So, you know, if you want to get a hold of this, channel descriptions are in the, channel links. I think I've had a little too much to drink already. Channel links are in the description below in this video. There's also a link to his Twitch there, so feel free to go and follow. I know when I finally start streaming again, after I probably get into this Valorant shit, I'm going to be hosting him a lot because I got to do that more. And yeah, thank you everybody for listening. This has been Heretical Tavern. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Time to close up shop.
Bye.